Hello, everybody. My name is Amanda Holloway. I am research manager with the project on workforce. Last month, we piloted a career chat series facilitating one-on-one conversations between current students, recent graduates, to current practitioners who work in workforce development, future of work, and post-secondary education. We wanted to share the insights from these invited professionals with our network. Our guest today is Dr. Joy Coates. She is the managing director of post-secondary opportunity at Third Sector. She's based in Miami, Florida, where she oversees Third Sector's post-secondary opportunity portfolio. Through her work, she seeks to unify the efforts of higher education, community stakeholders, government, and employers where possible, rooted in the concept that post-secondary opportunity does not exclusively mean pursuing traditional higher education. She is an accomplished professional with a wealth of experience in leadership and strategic management. Her diverse background encompasses education, workforce development, skill-based hiring practices, and program designed to create equitable workforce ecosystems. She is deeply committed to diversity, equity, and inclusion and holds a certificate in DEI from Cornell University. Her track record includes surpassing productivity goals, pioneering innovative initiatives, and facilitating seamless transitions. She is committed to continuing to make a positive impact by harnessing her expertise to drive transformative change that will support an equitable workforce system and optimize economic mobility. Dr. Coates holds a Doctor of Education from Northeastern University in Organizational Leadership. Thank you, Dr. Coates, for taking the time to talk
Hey.
to me and share some of your insights that our students have learned from you. I want to start with our first question. What has been your wisest career decision or move so far?
Hmm. I think the wisest career decision was I had a friend once who told me, if you don't know what's next, just step out. You have to sometimes step out. Don't be afraid to take the risk. And it can feel very counterintuitive to what we learn in post-secondary because we spend so much time being strategic about how we design what we're going to major in and how we carefully craft our networks. And sometimes the most divergent path is actually the one that takes you further than you ever expected you would go. From my
Mm,
personal experience, one of my first roles, I worked at a television station. My initial background was in communications. I know you're shocked because I'm such a shrinking violet, but I went from communications to the nonprofit sector to real estate, then back into the nonprofit sector. And there are always threads that you can pull through from your genuine interest, your genuine experience. But if you allow yourself that flexibility, not to be locked into what you think you should do, you'll be amazed by what you can do.
okay. What was the best career advice you followed?
The best career advice I ever followed. There was a gentleman, I won't say his name because he is a little bit shy, but there's a gentleman I worked for when I was in real estate who was our vice president of external relations, very, very senior in the organization, and I was an EA at the time. And what he said to me was, as often as you can, schedule your own meetings. Now, as an executive assistant, this just seemed crazy to me. Like, why would an executive be telling me that he insists on scheduling his own meetings? And he said that people miss the small details, like how we all used to write handwritten notes years and years ago. It used to be a thing to write
Mhm.
handwritten notes. What he takes into that concept is when you schedule your own meetings, you're letting the person know that you are intentionally trying to cultivate a one-on-one relationship with them, that what they bring to the table is important to you. And even if, you have your assistant do the follow-up meetings, that initial meeting where you're really trying to build rapport with somebody, you should schedule that directly. And that's something that I was told, my gosh, 25 years ago now. And I still do that to this day. It's critically important that people pause and make time for each other. And, there's always time to be transactional, but there's not always time to make a genuine connection with folks. So that I think would be one of the best gems someone has ever given me.
Yeah. And building authenticity and
Mhm.
I think sincerity,
Yes,
especially. Yeah, I love that.
absolutely.
Um, And I think in connection, like the last question I have is how do you build and nurture interpersonal relationships that kind of inspire your career?
Mhm. Well, I think it's like a multifaceted piece. When we talk about, really nurturing relationships, you've got to think about three things. You've got to be willing to go into that relationship just for its own sake. I honestly believe, yes, you will not like everybody, but you will like most people. I know sometimes it's hard to believe, but most people have much more commonality than they think. So the first one is you're really going into that relationship for the genuineness of whatever connected you to that person in that first conversation you had. The second one is you should be really trying to understand what it is that you could possibly do for that person. And it doesn't have to be like financially transactional, but really understanding how you can go into this relationship with service in mind. If you have met somebody even who is a potential client, as for example, in our field at Third Sector, we work a lot with government agencies where folks are really taxed. We work with institutes of higher education who are, undergoing lots of upheaval and change right now. And certainly, as a consultant firm, you do want a client and you do want their business and you do want to help them champion all the things that are aligned in your mission. But what you really should be trying to understand is what is a problem I can solve for this person? What is a pain point they have? And when it's an actual business relationship, that pain point may be a commonality, right? Especially when we think about, women of color in the workplace and the need for genuine mentorship. It may be that you both need a sounding board to navigate politics. It may be that you both need to understand how to embrace active radical rest so that you're not burning out. So that second point of really understanding how you can serve each other in relationship is critical. And then the third piece is the relationship has to actually be fed. You have to intentionally stay connected to people. You have to intentionally understand how they're evolving and how you're evolving and where the intersections of your mutual growth are so that the relationship stays fresh and interesting for both of you as time goes on.
Yeah, I love that. It's a relationship where both people can feel like they are learning something, they
Yes.
are being pushed and encouraged,
Hmm.
and it can inspire your career,
Hmm.
and your interests in ways that you wouldn't even imagine, right? After first conversation.
Hmm.
Well, thank you so much for sharing this. I know I've learned a lot in this past couple of minutes. And so I
My
really
pleasure, Amanda.
appreciate you for taking the time to talk.
Absolutely. Thank you for the invitation.